Stephanie, don't you want to be a pilot like your uncle?
I think I'll keep my feet on the ground and keep practicing my dancing.
Number 10, Ross Malinger. Ross Malinger was a prolific actor from age 6. His big break came when he played Tom Hanks' son in the rom-com classic Sleepless in Seattle.
You must be Jonah.
Hi.
There were many more projects from there, including the lead role of TJ in the Disney animated series Recess.
Hey there, Bob, Your Majesty, sir. This is, Gus Griswold. I'm a new kid.
But Malinger ultimately left the pressures of Hollywood in his early 20s, following in his father's footsteps into sales. He has become a seasoned automotive dealership salesman and manager in the greater Los Angeles area. It's a much less public job than the one he had as a kid.
You know what, Dad? We ought to start camping more often.
You're right. Camping is good.
But Malinger has found his perfect leading role on the show floor. Number 9, Josh Saviano. The classic sitcom The Wonder Years didn't just follow Fred Savage's coming of age.
It's called a yarmulke, and for your information, it happens to be a very big deal. I get to stand up in front of all my friends and my whole family and say prayers and make this big speech and stuff.
Josh Saviano captured audiences for 6 seasons with the trials and triumphs of Kevin Arnold's nerdy best friend, Paul Pfeiffer.
I feel like such a jerk up there. No, you're good. He had this big thing hanging from your nose, but you were good, butthead.
Unlike his castmates, Saviano didn't follow the entertainment industry into adulthood, at least not directly.
He went to Harvard, of course. Studied law. He's still allergic to everything.
As a partner at the law firm Morrison Cohen, he specialized in artists' intellectual property disputes and other financial transactions.
But over time, you develop a secondary persona. What would Paul do? And there did come a time when there was a distinction between what would Paul do and what would Josh do.
He eventually used his expertise in creative entrepreneurship to found the startup companies Act 3 Advisors and Spotlight Advisory Group. Saviano may no longer be in the spotlight himself, but he is dedicated to handing it to a new generation of artists. Number 8, Charlie Korsmo.
Hey, kid. What's your hurry? Where are you going?
Stop him!
Take it easy.
Charlie Korsmo stole the show in several cult classics of the 90s.
Jeez, this is incredible! What are we waiting for? Let's get him!
He is particularly known for his award-nominated roles as the title character's protege in Dick Tracy and Peter Pan's son in Hook.
You are the Pan.
You are Peter Pan.
But just when it seemed like he was going to blow up in the new millennium, Korsmo decided to change direction in college. He graduated with a physics degree from MIT and worked in the public sector before completing his law studies at Yale.
Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Professor Charles Korsmo.
Korsmo has become an esteemed legal scholar, even being nominated to the Barry Goldwater Scholarship's Board of Trustees by Barack Obama. Settling in Cleveland as a corporate law professor, Korsmo has followed his interests into a successful career. Number 7, Taran Noah Smith. Throughout the 90s, audiences watched Taran Noah Smith grow up as Mark Taylor, the youngest son on the hit sitcom Home Improvement.
Look at all the wires in there.
You know what all those wires do?
Yeah, of course.
By the time the show ended, he knew that acting wasn't for him and was excited to decide for himself what to do with his life.
It's like having this one huge family that you go and you see every day.
Smith built a career on his own terms as an entrepreneur, forming the vegan cheese brand Playfood, among other enterprises. In mid-2022, he became an integration technician for SpaceX. Smith may have left Home Improvement behind him, but he still built a lot with his own hands.
The Home Improvement star is now fixing homes in real life.
It is very strange. I'm now doing tool time for real.
Number 6, David Dorfman. David Dorfman had an intense childhood, both on screen and academically.
Come on, we shouldn't be in a room.
It's not a room anymore.
The child actor broke out as Naomi Watts' son in the American remake of The Ring and its sequel.
Why did you draw that house?
She told me to.
Who?
Who told you to?
just a little girl.
He also appeared in a number of other movies and TV shows. But his tenure on CBS's Family Law foreshadowed his ultimate ambition. A UCLA student at just 13 years old, Dorfman was a valedictorian graduate and Harvard Law student by 18. He was still acting regularly when he began an illustrious law career, but with multiple offices in the US House of Representatives, Dorfman now definitely has his hands full. Talk about scary success. Number 5. Peter Ostrum. A one-time actor achieving stardom is a rare treat. Peter Ostrum had that luck when he was recruited from a children's theater in Cleveland for the starring role of Charlie Bucket in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Look, everyone, look, I've got it! The fifth golden ticket is mine!
You're pulling our legs, Charlie.
Ostrom's infectious wonder enchanted audiences alongside Gene Wilder's iconic antics.
Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination.
The 13-year-old was an overnight star, but had other priorities. His family had bought a horse, sparking Ostrom's interest in veterinary work. Since getting his doctorate from Cornell, he's become a highly successful vet and dairy consultant in New York. Between this fulfilling work and the occasional return to the spotlight to discuss his brief but memorable acting career, it looks like Ostrom got everything he ever wanted.
Hey, try this, Grandpa!
All right, Charlie, wait for me.
Number 4. Jeff Cohen. Jeff Cohen spent his formative years during the 80s in the public eye.
My name's Lawrence, so sometimes people call me Chunk.
His breakout acting role as the clumsy but ultimately heroic Chunk in The Goonies made him an icon of the decade.
Chunk! No, Captain Chunk!
But rather than use this credit to build his acting resume, he cultivated a network on the business and legal side of the industry. By 1991, Cohen retired from acting to study law at Berkeley and UCLA.
As far as like the sequel, I think it's great. I think I'm better off being a lawyer.
As the head of his own Beverly Hills law firm, he has become a renowned Hollywood dealmaker. Though Chunk will live on as a slapstick icon, Cohen's much sharper business shuffle is just as legendary.
Get them Chunksters! Let's get the hell out of here!
Number 3. Juliana Rose Moriello. The popular children's show Lazy Town was not so lazy when Stephanie showed up.
Hi, Uncle Milford.
Oh, hello, Stephanie. Nice to see you.
Her cheerful energy and dancing talents inspired young audiences to stay active and made actress Juliana Rose Moriello a household name.
Bing, bang, digga-rigga-dong, funny words I sing when I am dancing.
She ended her run with the show in 2008, leaving Stephanie to be played by Chloe Lang in the series' 2013 revival. Meanwhile, Moriello retired from acting and went on to get her master's degree from Columbia University.
Seriously, where are all the kids and where do they play?
Who is she? What is she talking about?
Though many may be surprised that she is not working in performing arts, she's still dedicated to children's physical and mental health. Moriello is now a pediatric occupational therapist in Los Angeles, where she uses her many talents to support the activity of kids who need it most. Number 2. Mara Wilson.
Do you know that book, Stuart Little?
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
Mara Wilson gained instant recognition as the adorable daughter in Mrs. Doubtfire and the 1994 remake of Miracle on 34th Street.
You're a very good Santa Claus.
Thank you.
Your beard's stuck on real tight.
90s kids may remember her most as the magical, mischievous Matilda in the cult classic film of the same name.
According to a constitutional law book I read in the library, if you don't have one, you could lose your job or even go to federal prison.
Wilson was poised to be one of Hollywood's breakout stars for the new millennium. However, the tragic death of her mother in 1996 left her feeling overwhelmed and longing for a more normal life.
And she was like the first girl character that I was just like, she is so cool and that is who I want to be.
Yeah.
And I did get to be her.
She's also said that she wanted more creative freedom, and she seems to have found it, becoming a writer across multiple media. This career has carried her back into the public eye as an advocate for progressive causes and mental health. She even takes on the occasional acting role for fun.
Okay, I'm gonna do the pan-roasted turbot with fennel pollen aioli, prosciutto, burlati beans, parsnips, turnips, and carrots.
So the turbot, yeah.
Number 1. Danny Lloyd. 6-year-old Danny Lloyd made his acting debut in what he thought was a standard family drama.
Did your mother ever say that to you? That I would hurt you?
No, Dad.
You sure?
Yes, Dad.
He was in fact playing Danny Torrance in Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, one of the greatest and scariest horror movies ever.
Come and play with us. Come and play with us, Daddy.
Lloyd's performance was praised alongside his veteran castmates, but after his sophomore role in a TV movie about Watergate, he opted for a less public coming of age.
Danny's not here, Mrs. Torrance.
Lloyd has been a biology professor in Kentucky since 2004, reluctant to share his claim to fame with his students. He's still glad to meet fans of The Shining, though. He even returned to the screen for a cameo in the 2019 sequel, Dr. Sleep.
Oh, watch this kid, number 19. That kid is a natural. He hits the ball every time, like he can read the pitcher's mind.
Dr. Lloyd otherwise feels he shined enough in the one role, and is equally proud of his career in academia.
Red rum! Red rum! Red rum!
Danny, what's the matter, hon?
Red rum!
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from MsMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.